got sort of involved in the book, and then some of the people in Toronto said that let's have a seminar. I said it's a good idea. So we started to pick the controversial ones. So we have a number of controversial writers here, Rashid Mughal and Munir Sami and Farzana. Since we said, okay, let's have these people here and see what their take on this book is. So let me, so what I have done is, rather than taking my sort of 10 minutes, I have divided that in a way. I have picked some quotations from Harari's book so that while you're hearing this, the presenter's point of view, so that you can also have what the Harari himself is saying. You know. So I read the book, so I wrote just one page. So from my sort of side, I'm going to just read you a little page, my impression. So this is all I have from my side. Homo sapiens. If sapiens means wise and homo means human, then Homo sapiens would mean wise human beings. When we ask ourselves, are we wise? Are all human beings wise? Oscar Wilde answers in his semi-humorous, semi-satirical ways. He says, there are two kinds of human beings. Some are wise and some otherwise. There are two kinds of human beings. Some are wise and some otherwise. As a student of human psychology and philosophy, when I ask myself why some humans are wise and some otherwise, that leads to another question, and that is, what is wisdom? After a lot of reflection and introspection, I have come to the conclusion that wisdom is the inner light that helps people see in the dark. Such light leads to enlightenment. After thousands of years of evolution, some human beings still live in the darkness of ignorance and prejudice that creates anger and resentment, bitterness and judgment, violence and war in the world. Those who are enlightened become scientists and scholars, poets and philosophers, artists and mystics, reformers and revolutionaries, and create love and harmony, justice and peace in the world. They help others become fully human and create a peaceful world together. They inspire all of us to become wise human beings and remind us that we are Homo sapiens. So that's my take, just a reflection when I read the book. Since I'm going to talk about his books, I went on Google to asking who is this Harari. I didn't know him, I've never sort of met the guy. So I found something interesting that's sort of a very personal, but I thought to get to know that who Harari is. So one of the things I found that in his personal philosophy, there are two parts that struck me. One is his love for animals, and one his love for Buddhism. So the book aside, he in his personal life, so animal welfare. Harari was commented on the plight of animals, particularly domesticated animals, since the agricultural revolution, and he is a vegan. Guardian article under the title, Industrial Farming is one of the worst crimes in history, he called the fate of industrially farmed animals one of the most pressing ethical questions of our time. And the second part that struck me was that he has been involved in a certain kind of meditation which he began whilst in Oxford in 2000. He said that, quote unquote, transformed my life. He practices nearly 2 hours every day, 1 hour in the beginning and 1 at the end of the day. And then he takes a month, a year to go on this retreat, of the silence retreat. So I thought that it was interesting that while we are reading his ideas and philosophy, I was sort of amused in a way that his gay marriage had happened in Toronto. I didn't know, maybe Ontario or Canada is more favor of gay marriages, and maybe he lives in Israel, and maybe Israel is not that favor of gay marriages. So Toronto has this connection that he got married in Toronto, and it was also, I was further amused that when he wrote that he lives with his husband in Israel, where he teaches. So that is sort of a little introduction of this guy himself. Now coming to his book or his philosophy, I will read one statement from the beginning, so to set the stage what he is talking about the whole two books. On the first page of his book, he starts not only with humans but with the earth and with the universe, and he starts the story a long time back. So let me read you a paragraph from the book Sapiens. About 13.5 billion years ago, matter, energy, time and space came into being in what is known as the Big Bang. The story of these fundamental features of our universe is called physics. About 300 years after this appearance, matter and energy started to coalesce into complex structures called atoms, which then combined into molecules. The story of atoms, molecules, and their interactions is called chemistry. So we evolved from physics to chemistry. About 3.8 billion years ago, on a planet called Earth, certain molecules combined to form particularly large and intricate structures called organisms. The story of organisms is called biology. So we evolved from physics to chemistry to biology. About 70,000 years ago, organisms belonging to the species Homo sapiens started to form even more elaborate structures called cultures. The subsequent development of these human cultures is called history. So from physics to chemistry, from chemistry to biology, from biology to history. And now the book then focuses three important revolutions shaped the course of history. Cognitive revolution kick-started history about 70,000 years ago. The agricultural revolution sped it up about 12,000 years ago, and the scientific revolution which got underway nearly 500 years ago. So this is the whole, in summary, in one line, motherhood statement of the whole evolution: physics, chemistry, biology, history, and then evolution, and three, that is his theory of three revolutions, explaining Harari's take on the human evolution. Our first speaker is the first time, not the speaker here, he has been the first time for us in Family of the Heart. I met him, Bahadur Ali Khan.